Hi everyone, it's Jay here, and these are the manga and manhwa releases for the second half of July. We're going to start off with the Kodansha releases, Volume 2, KX Yaku, Bound by Law. And despite being on opposite sides of the law, Public Security Bureau agent Ichiro and Yakuza Lieutenant Shiro use a whirlwind romance as camouflage for investigating the mystery of Rion Nakaba's disappearance. While Shiro had already been looking into the politicians and criminals mentioned in the journal his sister left with him, not everything in her notes is as it seems. When the fake lovers catch a break in the case, they find themselves stepping into more dangerous waters than either could have anticipated. Then we have Ninja vs Gokudo. It's payback time, and the battle pits Nodoka Matsumoto, the compassionate ninja, against the Yakuza heavyweight Kosei Yuzawa. The action takes place in the seedy underground below Tokyo's infamous Kabukicho. Seeking an advantage, the Yakuza dope up with a special drug, but will it be enough to prove they are the strongest of the criminal underworld? We have Volume 7 of Parasyte Full Color Collection. Shinichi has been hunted, and now he is to become the hunter. The humans and parasites are gearing up for a terrible, bloody showdown, and Shinichi has been recruited to help in the fight. There's no choice but to cooperate, and do his best to keep the secret of his parasitic arm close to his chest. But as the fighting escalates, a powerful enemy resurfaces. And on the 23rd of July, we have Volume 9 of A Sign of Affection. Since the moment they met, Yuki, a college student who's never had a boyfriend and was born deaf, has always felt like being near her boyfriend Itsuomi was the most natural thing in the world. It's something she has trouble explaining even to herself. When Itsuomi asks her if she wants to live with him, she says yes right away, but they're sailing into totally uncharted waters. Now a million practical questions loom. And then we have Blue Lock Volume 13. Tryouts for the Blue Lock 11 are underway, and things are getting tougher and tougher, but I'll say no more due to spoilers. Volume 3 of Gachiakuta. After arriving at the Cleaners HQ, hoping to find a way back to the sphere, Rudo discovered that the person who may have the answers, their boss, is out of town. Hoping to be useful, he decided to help out on a job, but it turns out that using his newfound powers is harder than it looks. King in Limbo Volume 3. Rune and Adam's efforts to unravel the riddle of the return of the deadly disease known as the sleep have led them straight into a trap. With their sanity and lives at stake, can Adam pull his partner's psyche together and find a way to save a king in limbo? Volume 9 of Sailor Moon Naoko Takeuchi Collection. This is a new release of the Sailor Moon series with an updated translation and a high page count at 288 pages. Volume 19, The Heroic Legend of Arslan. After 9 grueling months since his homeland's historic defeat, Arslan is finally ready to reclaim the royal capital from his enemies, but in his way stand King Andragoras, Hilmes, and Gizgard, all massively skilled opponents. Volume 9, A Condition Called Love. Hotaru and Hananoikun have weathered a major trial in their relationship. Their first extended summer apart, but now that summer break is over, it's time for the annual school fair. Volume 11 of Fire Force Omnibus. This is the final omnibus edition, so make sure you pick this one up when it comes out. And Volume 2, I See Your Face Turned Away. Otani is a funny, nice guy. When he saw Mari smile, he couldn't help but fall head over heels. She is a quiet and shy girl, but thanks to Hikari and Asagiri, Otani has been slowly getting to know her, but her eyes seem to drift away towards someone else. Origin Volume 5. To carry out his new central dogma, protect Mai Hirose, Origin dons his exo-muscle armor and charges into battle against wave after wave of identical Gon replicas. Victory seems within his grasp until a powerful new foe bursts onto the scene. With the Kyoto AI Institute coming down around his ears, flight is Origin's only chance at survival. But for Mai's sake, what will he do? Volume 5 of Seraph of the End, Guren Ichinose. With less than 2 days left before his father's execution, Guren finally opens up to his friends and asks for their aid after watching Mahiro get whisked away by vampires. Meanwhile, time is quickly running out before the foretold catastrophe on Christmas. Guren helps the Hiragis launch a full-scale war to wipe out the Brotherhood of 1,000 Knights, and put a stop to their Seraph of the End project, but all is not what it seems. Volume 10 of The Great Cleric, reconstruction of the Yenis Healers Guild is finally underway, thanks to the help of the guild's new, unusually skilled slaves, and Lucille is eager to rebuild the healer's reputation. But at every turn he finds himself face to face with Yenis representative Shahzar, who doesn't exactly like him. And for the Witch Hat Italia fans, we have Volume 4 of their Kitchen series. In this one, the Italia's 4 apprentices come home from the Great Hall. What manner of mystical meals might their mentors be concocting for them? It includes a variety of real sweet and savoury recipes with step-by-step instructions. Moving on to the Yen press releases, we have Yana Taboso Artworks Black Butler Volume 4. Now this 4th illustration collection from New York Times bestselling author Yana Taboso includes art from the manga's Blue Cult and Blue Memory arcs, and the anime's Book of Murder and the Book of the Atlantic arcs, as well as promotional art for the various Black Butler musicals and the Black Label product line. It's presented as a deluxe, beribboned hardcover tome. Though I have to say you can't look at the front cover for very long. Hurts your eyes a little. We have a new series called Arya of the Beech Forest. Deep within a certain forest lives a young witch named Arya. She spends her days alone, growing herbs and knitting, until one winter morning when she encounters a white wolf collapsed in the snow. The mysterious beast not only talks, but also, to her surprise, asks to live with her. Could this be the start of a big change for the small lonely witch? Volume 8 of Bungo Stray Dogs 1. Atsushi and Akutagawa butt heads. Dazai and Chuya also butt heads. Whether it's the Port Mafia getting in on the virtual reality boom, or the kids at Bungo Daycare figuring out how to deal with a ghost, the cast of Bungo Stray Dogs have their mature moments, and some childish ones too. Another new series called Go 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 Ghost. This comes out on the 23rd of July. So after an illicit affair at her promising first job fell through, office worker Ushiro Akechi has slid down to rock bottom. All the world has in store for her now are temporary gigs, a lonely rundown apartment and plain rice for dinner. With a life like that, would death be any worse? So what she really needs is an older sister type to talk her back from the edge. Luckily, she's about to meet one, from the other side. Alleged guardian spirit and self-proclaimed Big Sis Masako is here to take Ushiro under a ghostly wing. Together, can they turn a brush with death into the start of a gloriously funny new partnership? Honey Lemon Soda Volume 6. The beginning of the second term brings an unwelcome surprise when Uka's father demands that she transfer schools. Now Uka finds herself at a crossroads. Does she keep her parents in the dark and risk losing her hard-won squad, or come clean about her past torments? As she struggles to find the right words, an unexpected alliance of both friends and former bullies turns up with words of their own. Itaewon Class Volume 2. Seiroi's plan has finally come to fruition, and he is now the proud owner of a pub in Itaewon. The only problem? He barely gets any customers. Enter Yiso Jo, social media star, sociopath, and all-round teenage genius. After the two run into each other, literally, Seiroi lands himself in the hospital and forms a life-altering connection. Because when Yiso returns to Honey Night, she brings not only business, but trouble too. Kind of a wolf. It all started with a cat, the sweet creature that Shiroki lives with near the university. One day, it decides to wander into the apartment of Hayato Ugami, his rude, noisy neighbour, who is up at all hours doing who knows what. When Shiroki chases after it, he discovers a scene beyond his wildest imagination. We have a new series called Miss Savage Fang. The ruthless queen Mylene, a woman chosen by God and born with unrivaled magic power, stood deposed. The rebellion's success was owed to none other than fabled mercenary Envil, the Savage Fang, but an ambush during their hour of victory left little time to celebrate. As he took his last breath, Envil could have died content watching the tyrant queen's lifeless corpse sway from the gallows, until he wakes up as her several years in the past. Now the mercenary of legend has a princess's body, more magic than anyone can fathom, and a burning desire to make sure things go differently this time. My Gently Raised Beast Volume 7. The mysterious dreams she's been having, the strange incident at the banquet, Blondina pieces together the clues, and finally realises what her half-sister is up to. But it's too late. The bloody past between the two races seems bound to repeat itself, but Amon refuses to give up. My oh my, Atami-kun. Atami-kun has good looks and a romantic heart, and a steady stream of girls asking him out at every opportunity, which is all wonderful, except he likes guys, not girls. An upperclassman who enjoys reading, the long-haired boy who sits in front of him, the cute worker at the flower shop, each love fleeting but sincere, and just a bit complicated. See You in My 19th Life, Volume 3. When Seha finally remembers how he and Jiun first met, it answers some of the burning questions he has about this strange woman, but is it enough to lower his guard? The Abandoned Empress Volume 8. The moment Aristia was dreading is finally here. Jiun has arrived. As politics pit the two against each other yet again, she soon realises that this Jiun is very different from the one she remembers. In order to protect herself and those dear to her, Aristia hardens her resolve to walk the path of heir to House Manik. While the noble factions plan their next move, Aristia is reminded that within the palace there is no room for mercy. The Boxer Volume 7. Get your revenge in the ring. Coach K's words echo in Yu's ears, the image of Carmen's unconscious body still fresh in his mind. Dirty tricks had always been a possibility. The Santorinos were known to use their underhanded tactics, like bribing referees and doping, to gain an edge in their matches. But attacking Carmen takes things too far, and Yu is going to make Fabrizio pay. The Princess of Convenient Plot Devices Volume 5. Princess Octavia finds Syl and the intruders holding him captive in the True Sky Chamber, but as she and her allies attempt their rescue, Syl lashes out with uncharacteristic aggression. She also has to contend with her bodyguard, Clifford, who is furious with Octavia. Why Raeliana ended up at the Duke's Mansion Volume 7. Raeliana is off to save Noah from the terrorist trap, gun in hand and ready for action, but she is horribly unprepared for what she finds. Secrets come tumbling from her, but will they lead to a happy ever after? But remember, the book this world takes place in is called Beatrice, not Raeliana, and the true heroine is fed up with waiting to take her rightful place. She'll kill Raeliana with her own hands if she has to. Your Letter. Sorry Lee is hoping for a fresh start at her new school, which is easier said than done when every single thing reminds her of why she transferred. As luck would have it, an anonymous letter taped to the bottom of her desk provides a perfect distraction. Little does Sorry know that she's about to embark on the scavenger hunt of a lifetime. What starts off as simple curiosity becomes a healing journey as Sorry discovers just how far a small act of kindness can go. 15 minutes before we really date, Volume 3. With graduation right around the corner, Yuki and Natsuha need some time away from each other to focus on their futures. Literally, as Natsuha will spend 2 weeks in Tokyo to take her exams. Natsuha figures it'll be a good trial run for when college starts, but the thought of losing her makes Yuki's stomach turn. Can they make a long-distance relationship work, or will it fall apart just as things are really getting serious? Minato's Laundromat, Volume 3. Akira Minato is on a brief vacation from running his scruffy old laundromat, needing a mental respite after meeting his former teacher and high school crush. Meanwhile, Shintaro's obsession with Akira is consuming his life. And with perceived competition in both Sakuma and Asuka, there's no telling how he'll act. Volume 7, The Reformation of the World as Overseen by a Realist Demon King. While Astaroth considers how best to utilise his new land, his people celebrate the victory as their king's fearsome reputation spreads throughout the realm. There's just one more order of business though, summoning new allies to aid him in battle. What kind of powerful ally will join his ranks? The Vampire and His Pleasant Companions, Volume 5. This series started with a vampire called Albert, who accidentally got flash frozen as a bat when he was eating at a meat processing plant in Nebraska. He then gets shipped to Japan, where he wakes up. That is such a funny start to a story. In this one, his acting career continues and he has the chance to film back in America, so he's very excited. But Volume 4 came out in 2021, which is quite a while ago. I'm not sure why there was a delay though. When I Became a Commoner, They Broke Off Our Engagement, Volume 3. Despite being raised as a noble for 14 years, Anna's not about to let her new status change get her down. However, the commoner life is far more different than she had expected. When Anna is faced with a whirlwind of unfamiliar experiences among a family she hardly knows, can she adapt to her new situation? Moving on to the Viz releases, we have Battle Royale Enforcers. After being banned 20 years ago, Program 68 is back, this time under the direction of a sinister government artificial intelligence. The troubled and misbehaving kids of Daitoa Academy's Class F have been chosen, divided into squads, given weapons and commanded to fight to the death. Now friendships and loyalties will be tested, and only the strongest will survive. Dandadan Volume 8. Having looked on helplessly as Momo fought the evil, Okarun resolves to become stronger. To help with his training, Turbo Granny takes him, with Ira in tow, to the school's music room, where they're attacked. Haikyuu 3-in-1 Edition Volume 1. After losing his first and last middle school volleyball match against Tobio Kageyama, the king of the court, Shoyo Hinata swears to become his rival, but the guy he wants to defeat ends up becoming his teammate at Karasuno High School. Will they be able to prove themselves capable of playing together? I am so glad they are doing a 3-in-1 edition of this series. I love Haikyuu so much, and almost started buying the single volumes last month. I'm really glad I didn't with this release, and I will definitely be buying this edition this month. Record of Ragnarok Volume 11. It's time for a new battle in this one, and Buddha faces an old rival, Bishamonten, who is much more than meets the eye. And that's out on the 16th of July. Seraph of the End Volume 30. Yu and Michaela dive into the past in search of their oldest memories, and they pop out in a shocking time well before the birth of humanity, when dinosaurs roam the earth. What sorts of mysteries will they encounter there? Snowball Earth Volume 2. 10 years later, Tetsuro has returned to Earth in an escape pod, but finds the planet totally frozen over. But the people Tetsuro has found are not the only survivors, and a mysterious humanoid kaiju also lurks amongst the ruins. Steel of the Celestial Shadows Volume 3. After fighting off a bizarre attack, Konosuke and Aki realize the forces of the Tsuchimikado clan are after them. The Tsuchimikado clan oversee all of the Onmyoji and the gifted throughout Japan, and Konosuke realizes finding Tsuki means confronting the powerful clan, but doing so means going to the capital. Ali, Junji Ito Story Collection. Horror author Junji Ito presents 10 blood-curdling short stories in this collection. One story involves a young man who, every night, hears children playing outside his boarding house, but the alley below his window is fenced off from the world. Volume 5 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 6 Stone Ocean. Jolene and the gang continue their escape from the disciplinary wing and track down the bone, but things go from bad to weird when they run across a scene of madness, where other prisoners have been drained to husks, infected by a mysterious plant form that gives birth to a strange green child. Volume 7? I don't know how to pronounce that title. The 4-on-4 piano battle continues, but things take a turn for the worse when Maloli comes up with a devious plan to make Mimin hate the piano. Moving on to the 7 Seas Entertainment releases, we have The Duke of Death and His Maid Volume 13. With Alice at his side, the Duke travels to speak with his mother once again, only to find the main house abuzz with preparations for the evening ball. A new series called Throw Away the Suit Together. In this girls' love romance, 2 college girls under too much pressure leave city life by running away to an island together. They soon learn that island living isn't all blue skies and sunny days, and yet, whatever the future holds, they will face it together. No Longer Allowed in Another World Volume 6. Sensei is left heartbroken and bereft of purpose after the last volume. The gloomy, suicidal adventurer soon wanders alone into the frightening trials of the Fairy Queen. Only one other person has successfully completed those trials. The Villainess and the Demon Knight, Volume 3. This is part of the Steamship range by Seven Seas Entertainment. Marquise Cecilia is engaged to Lord Lucas, but while Lord Lucas is busy battling dangerous magical beasts, Cecilia's ex, the former second prince Felix, arrives unannounced. He is unable to accept his loss of inheritance and blames Cecilia, and so attacks her. Will the protection magic around Cecilia hold out until Lucas arrives? Volume 2 of The Condemned Villainess goes back in time and aims to become the ultimate villain. Claudia, the daughter of a duke, is engaged to the crown prince. That is, until her half-sister Femina sells her to a brothel where she dies. When she's reborn into her childhood body, she's out for revenge. She now tries to thwart her half-sister Femina's schemes, but their clashes finally spiral out of the home and into high society. Now she must confront the crown prince, who is intrigued by her behaviour and his other prospective fiancés. Ennead, Volume 3. It's the middle of their second match, and things aren't going so well for Seth. Dangling far above the water with nothing but Horace's leg to cling to, he is utterly at his nephew's mercy. Can he save his stone boat before Horace destroys it, or will he have no choice but to watch it sink? That's out on the 23rd of July. There are two versions of this, the hardback version which is rated mature, and the paperback which is rated older teen, so make sure you buy the right one for you. Colourless Volume 7. This is the final volume of the series, so make sure you pick this one up to find out how it all ends. I'll Never Be Your Crown Princess, Betrothed, Volume 1. This is another Steamship volume, so it's 18+. It's the sequel series to I'll Never Be Your Crown Princess, and there are new threats in this volume. Moving on to the Tokyo Pop releases, we have Volume 4 of Lullaby of the Dawn. Piece by piece, Alto, Elva, and their allies are unravelling the secrets of the Kanagi, the mysterious Black Sea, and their isolated island home, but every new revelation only brings more questions. Elva finally feels that he is ready to deepen his connection with Alto, but Alto is coming face to face with painful truths of his own, as the origins of his healing abilities and immunity to the Black Sea finally come to light. Jealousy Blinds Love. Once a child prodigy pianist, Shion Kirino is now a burnt-out, bitter shell of himself. When he's approached by Kei Takase, a talented younger colleague who professes his admiration for Kirino, he ends up inviting him home, intending on toying with his feelings. When Takase isn't deterred by Kirino's abrasive exterior, Kirino finds that he cannot deny Takase's unwavering devotion, but practicing piano together and celebrating Takase's successes also stirs up Kirino's own insecurities and distorted sense of jealousy. After a lifetime of loneliness, can he find salvation in Takase without dragging him down? From Square Enix, we have Soul Eater Not, the Perfect Edition. This is the action-packed spin-off to Soul Eater, in an all-new deluxe collector's edition. 14-year-old Tsugumi Harudori is off to enroll at Death Weapon Meister Academy, but before she can become a rich and famous hero, she'll have to find a trusty partner or two who can wield her. This is a larger volume on high-end paper stock that includes roughly 1.5 normal volumes in this edition. So there were a lot of releases there, lots of volumes which I cannot wait to buy, but I'm not sure my budget stretches to buy them all. I hope there's something there for you to buy, and as always, if you want to buy from SciFier, please feel free to use the code Jay'sManga. It gets you an extra 5% off their already discounted prices. But I hope you have a lovely manga buying month, everyone. Bye!